Feed dealers back, and boy, we got a fire one for you today, whānau. And to pay homage to the humble cow that gave his life to give us this feed tonight, we're gonna honor it properly. Because that cow didn't spend his days frolicking in a paddock just to end up as dry steak. Nah, we're giving it the royal treatment. It wanted to be drowned in a crayfish cheese sauce like livestock royalty. Anyway, whānau, check it out. First up, I'm finally chopping up some garlic. Now, we actually want this garlic to be a paste, whānau, so a quick little tip, you just want to add a little bit of sea salt and rub your knife against it on the chopping board. You can see there that it's turning into a paste. That's just going to allow for it to easily amalgamate into our cheese sauce. I've also finally chopped me up some onion and also sliced me up some potatoes into discs, just like you've seen there. Now I've got a pot there on a medium-high heat, whānau, and I just put a little bit of butter. And when I mean a little bit, that's in moldy measurements. So I chuck my garlic in there, and I'm just lightly sauteing that, making sure that I'm stirring it because we don't want to burn it. Now once you've cooked that garlic a little bit, that'll be time to put your onions in. And you're just going to cook them again until they're translucent and just going to flavour this roux. So next we're going to chuck that flour in. And you want to make sure that you cook that flour out for a little bit, whānau, till it turns a bit brown, or you'll smell that nutty flavour. Now if it looks something like that, there's going to be time to chuck your milk in. And make sure it's whole milk too, whānau, or else if you use skim milk or anything else, it's just going to split. Fat on fat always works. And it's flavour too, whānau. Anyway, you want to stir that milk in, and then you want to season it too, until you're happy with the consistency. Next up, you're going to want to chuck that cheese in. You just want to stir that in until it's nice and smooth. Then it's going to be time to chuck that crayfish in, whānau. And then once you've chucked that in, you want to pretty much take it off the heat because it's already cooked. Now it's going to be time to prep that steak. Now we all know how to cook a steak. And if you don't, make sure you watch my other video of how I cook my sirloin. It's not hard anyway, whānau, but we'll always start off by burning the fat cap. Rendering out that inu, that always makes for a better cooked steak. Now you can see I've got a thick chunky steak there, so cooking it medium rare isn't going to be too hard. Now I love a little bit of colour on my steaks, whānau, and I also like that char taste as well. So you'll see me later on, I'll be putting a little bit of char using that inu to flame it up. And that's what gives it that restaurant quality taste, you know what I mean? So just make sure that you're keeping an eye on it, whānau, and doing that touch test like I showed you in the last video. Now you want to leave it alone a little bit, but you still want to be moving it about just so it's not burning in certain areas, depending on how you're cooking it, of course. Oh, check it out. Make sure you're in control, whānau, because I hold no liability to your house burning down at the end of the day. So you see there, whānau, I'm making sure that I'm getting colour on all sides. Now when you're satisfied with the doneness of your steak, you're going to want to wrap it up in some tin foil. And that should look something like a tinny that your koro used to get back in the 60s. Now you can see I got that hinu from the steak there, whānau, which I've dropped the potatoes into. Now I'm just mixing them about, making sure that I'm not burning any of them. Because we're not going to fully cook them in the pan, whānau. I'm going to chuck them in the air fryer. And if you don't have an air fryer, you can chuck them in the oven, but it just might take a little bit longer. Now I'll season these two, whānau, off camera just before I put them into the air fryer. That's crucial. Now I'll chuck them into the air fryer for 15 minutes at 190. And boom, you're done. You got your fully rested steak there. Let's put some potatoes down along with some salad. And next we got the piece de resistance, that crayfish cheese sauce. And man, could I not wait to get into this. Check it out. Beautiful medium rare. And I tell you what, whānau, for a minute there I felt like the King of England with a bank balance of 42.18 and a pending afterpay payment. Till next time, whānau.